I am glad to finally meet you in person, guests from the Astral Express. I'm Fei Xiao, the General of the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
Let me introduce our guest to you. The one dressed in green.
He's the reincarnation of Imbibitor Lune, and the person behind him is the newest member of the crew. I've heard a lot about you. Outside the reports from the Law Fu, the Skyfaring Commission of the Yaoqing has also gathered plenty of information about both of you. I've been eager to meet you face to face for reasons that I'm sure General Jingyuan has explained, right? No, he didn't. That doesn't sound like the divine foresight I know.
Don't worry. Just tell her the truth.
According to General Jingyuan's report, the Ruin Legion is to blame for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, and all Arbiter Generals should pay attention to the Ruin Author's movements. Over the years, the Destruction's minions have wreaked havoc on countless worlds, and the Alliance has been keeping an eye on them, but no one expected them to join hands with the remnants of the Abundance. The damage caused by the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was far less severe than expected, which is good news for us. However, it was quite different from the Ruin Legion's usual style of destroying life wherever they go. While I trust the bravery of the Divine Foresight and the Nameless, I'm curious about some details missing from the report. I'd like to take this chance to have an exchange with both of you. Let me be clear, the questions I'll ask might not reflect my actual thoughts, so please don't take offense if any of my questions seem a bit harsh.
Please go ahead, General. But keep in mind we can only answer based on what we know. And perhaps you already have the answers to your questions in your heart.
You have a clever tongue. I like it.
The Merlin's claw is quite articulate. Right now, her intentions are unknown, and Jing Yuan wants us to be honest. Maybe I'll just stick to the facts we know.
Let's cut to the chase. Before the crisis struck, the Astral Express was guided here by a Stellaron hunter, a wanted felon, in an attempt to resolve the Stellaron crisis. However, everyone in the cosmos knows of the Stellaron hunter's reputation. So, why did you place so much trust in them? Could it be that some of you have a connection with them?
Rumor has it that Elio, the leader of the Stellaron hunters, possesses the power to see into the future. He foresaw that the Xianzhou and the Express would have important roles to play in the war against Nanook. That's why we were lured here to the Lafu, to deal with the Stellaron crisis and fulfill the prophecy.
General Jingyuan believes in this prophecy too, as mentioned in the report. I'm curious why you didn't question it at all. Could it be because one of the Stellaron hunters is actually an old acquaintance of General Jingyuan?
Please be cautious with your words, Merlin's Claw. Let's avoid sowing doubt among our comrades. That Stellaron hunter used to be my disciple, so are you putting my loyalty in question too?
I'm simply bringing up the doubts about General Jingyuan that exist within the Alliance. Since I'm representing them, perhaps you can just imagine me as one of those old geezers. Let's move on to the next question. The report suggests that Don Shu, the master of the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, colluded with the Lord Ravager and used the power of the Stellaron to resurrect the Ambrosial Arbor. But here's the thing. Dawn Shu was just a chief alchemist. Even if she colluded with our enemies and summoned the Stellaron, how did she manage to bypass the Videodora guards around the Ambrosial Arbor?
Could you please give us another chance? I'd like to answer that question again.
No problem. But remember that a debate is like a duel. The more you hesitate, the farther you are from victory.
You know what? Maybe I do have a connection with Stellaron hunters.
Oh, now that's interesting. Looks like you're quite close to the Stellaron hunters. However, I must warn you that they are wanted felons. While I appreciate your honesty, being honest about this topic might make you look suspicious to some, you know? Let's move on to the next question. The report suggests that Dawn Shu, the master of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus. But here's the thing.
I personally met Dawn Shu once. Her closest friend was killed during the war on the Fanghu, and she harbored deep hatred towards the hunt. So she spent years making preparations in the Alchemy Commission, in order to take revenge on the Xianzhou.
Revenge is also a form of the hunt. However, that doesn't explain how she managed to bring the Stellaron into the Scale Gorge waterscape, which was guarded by the Videodora.
Well, you should ask Dawn Shu herself for the answer.
Unfortunately, Dawn Shu is dead, and even her corpse has crumbled into ash. That's one less clue we can pursue. According to the report, Lord Ravager Fantilia is the mastermind behind the entire conspiracy. She disguised herself as an ambassador of the Skyfaring Commission and traveled with you, only to vanish without a trace later on. It seems too convenient to label her as a scapegoat. Well, it appears that you are still unable to give explanations for several details about how the Nameless got involved in the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. Generals, I am finished with my questioning.
So, what do you think, General Feixiao? Have the doubts in the report been cleared up?
The two Nameless have been honest in their answers. Even though there are some tricky details, my intuition tells me there is nothing wrong. However, the three questions I posed earlier were not just for the Nameless, but for you too, General Jingyuan. First, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus grew uninterrupted on the Law Fu, yet the six charioteers were not aware of it. That was a dereliction of duty. Second, you believed in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy and entrusted outsiders to solve the crisis, even granting them access to the Plague Mark. That was a dereliction of responsibility. Third, you insist on holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, putting the Lawfu back in the spotlight. That is a dereliction of wisdom.
Merlin's Claw. Is this your line of thinking? Or the Ten Lords?
From the moment I walked in, I made it clear that the questions I'd ask might not reflect my actual thoughts.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus were deeply rooted and had been plotting for a long time. I admit it was my negligence for not noticing it earlier. As for the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy, I didn't believe all of it, but in the end, the Law Fu did survive the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. So, I think it's safe to say that Elio's prophecy about the future holds some merit. And as for the war dance, do you think I'm unaware of the risks? However, risks can also be opportunities. The Law Fu has lain low for too long. I believe it's time to stir up the dregs hidden in the depths and wash them away once and for all.
Just as I expected from our sophisticated divine foresight. You have a way with words. I like it. But, unfortunately, ever since the report was submitted, the Alliance has been filled with rumors and speculation. Even within the Law Fu, there are people accusing you of neglecting your duties, resulting in the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection.
So what are your thoughts on all of this, General Fei Shao?
As a fellow Arbiter General, I fully understand the difficulties of this position. Personally, I think all these rumors are meaningless drivel. Across the sea of stars, the divine foresight knows better than anyone else what happened on the Law Fu and the meaning behind it. Just as what happened on the Xianzhou Yaoqing recently.
You mean the Xianzhou Yaoqing is also...
The scouts of the Verdant Knights have sent back reports that Borison are making trouble again. The Borison packs that were once divided and scattered have started swallowing each other up, forming larger and larger packs. Moreover, there's an entity named Mongoose behind it all.
An entity?
According to the report, this entity isn't actually a Borison. It's a woman claiming to be the messenger of the Master of Immortality. She's described as having 12 faces and 12 pairs of fangs, as cruel as poison and as elusive as quicksand. The Borison believe she'll give them a chance to rise again.
That's Ventilia.
That's right. You're lucky that I'm the one who came this time. If it were the Patina Justice or the Seer Strategist, this conversation might not be so friendly. I've always had faith in my instincts, so I don't doubt your good intentions. But the Alliance has its fair share of questions and doubts about the Law Fu. So, my plan is to come up with an acceptable answer to satisfy the Alliance.
What's in this plan, General Fei Shao?
General Jingyuan, you already know what has to be done. But since you don't want to be the bad guy, I'll take care of it for you. You need the final word from the Ten Lords Commission to quell any doubts. And for that, I'll have to ask the two Nameless to visit the Shackling Prison. No, I'm not imprisoning you. While you're there, I'll ask a judge in the Ten Lords Commission's Interrogation Division to record a detailed testimony with the karmic mirror from both of you. We'll fill in the gaps that weren't covered in the report and silence any protests within the Alliance.
I'm okay with that.
Your willingness to help is truly heartwarming, youngsters.
Then, as the Merlin's Claw requests...
Oh, there's one more thing. This testimony is for silencing the voices of opposition within the Alliance, but I would like to urge General Jingyuan to listen to the pleas of the Foxians on the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
So, you are here for Hule.
Exactly. Hule is locked up in the Law Fu's Shackling Prison. Since he is the broodlord of the Borison, I want to transfer him onto the Xianzhou Yaoqing and imprison him there. The recent movements of the Borison suggest they're planning something big, so we must act preemptively.
It makes sense to have the Foxians keep an eye on their arch-nemesis. Since you trust my judgment, I'll repay that trust. What do you think about all this, General Huayan?
I was worried this would turn into a heated argument, but it seems like both of you are on the same page, solving each other's problems. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
And as for Hule, I'll send my Lieutenant Jiao Chou and Moza to check on his condition in prison and ready him for transport. If there are no more questions, shall we get this started? Do you actually believe in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy?
Yes, I do. That's why I'm here.
I understand. While words can be deceiving, your gaze, your breathing, and your scent, they reveal more than your words do. I trust my intuition more than any words.
Well, I'm glad we managed to talk this out.
I'm really sorry about all this. But the testimony in the Shackling Prison won't take up much of your time. I'll call for a messenger to take you to the interrogation division. You just need to give your testimony, and then you can head back. So no need to worry.
As you wish, General.
As General Jingyuan requested, everything is prepared for your arrival, and I am here to receive you. The judges at the Interrogation Division also know your purpose in coming.
The Shackling Prison. I didn't expect to be back here after all these years.
Dan Heng.
Don't worry about me.
If you're ready, I'll open the gate for you. This is one of many entrances used for temporary access. Since you're not actual prisoners, it makes sense for you to use this entrance. Please come on in, dear guests.
What are you looking at?
The Shackling Prison on the Luofu is completely different from the one on the Yaoqing. It's completely underwater.
Whether it's in the clouds or underwater, breaking free would still be a piece of cake for me.
Still thinking about your old jailbreak tricks, huh? Forget it. You're free now. Just don't do anything stupid, or the judges will throw you back in there and lock you up for a few hundred years.
You'll see me again in just a few days.
Taking Hule back to the Yaoqing means a lot to the Foxians on the ship, and to the General herself. So stay alert.
Guests, my name is Shui Yi, and I'm here on orders from the Incarceration Division of the Ten Lords Commission.
We're Jiao Chou and Moza. General Fei Xiao sent us to extradite the Borison criminal Hule to the Yaoqing. We're here to inspect the conditions of his imprisonment and make preparations for the handover and transportation. I assume you've been briefed, Your Honor.
Your visit request has been approved. I'll be your guide for this trip. Prisoner Hule, the warhead and brood lord of the Borison abominations of abundance and the arch-nemesis of the Foxians, is responsible for 2,123 wars of aggression and countless associated crimes. Due to his heinous acts, he has been imprisoned in the depths of the Shackling Prison and subjected to the punishment of the Forest of Swords until the end of time. He shall never be pardoned.
No need to repeat his crimes and sentence, Your Honor. He is the greatest enemy of us Foxians. The stories of his atrocities are used to terrify our children. I'm well aware of every crime he's committed. Let's move on to the next step.
When it comes to visiting criminals, there are rules in place to ensure your safety. I know you've heard legends about Hule since you were children, but your knowledge about him is likely very limited. Only the judges of the 10 Lords Commission truly know what kind of abomination is locked up at the bottom of the Shackling Prison. It has been centuries since Jing Yuan, the former sword champion of the Luofu, captured Hule. And during all those years, we never provided him with any food. Yet he somehow managed to stay alive. It defies all the documented physical characteristics of the Borison. The Forest of Swords, forged by the Punishment Division, is a device of intense torment, used to execute sinful abominations. Most Borison die within 3 days in the forest, but Hule is different. Every time the blades pierce him, his body instantly heals. Despite the brutal punishment, he somehow manages to survive. The complex rules are there because of his abnormal characteristics. Do you understand now?
I apologize for any offense caused. Please continue, Your Honor.
I've given you the instructions regarding Hule's visitation. Please make sure you read them carefully. And please, take this pellet before proceeding.
No, I'm not taking random medicine.
Then you won't be allowed to visit Hule.
Just swallow it already. Hule is like all Borison. He can release a pheromone called lupatoxin that induces fear. Thousands of years ago, we Foxians were enslaved by the Borison. Not because we were naturally weaker, but because of their lupatoxin. This pill is for our own mental well-being.
I understand.
I knew you were a reasonable person. Now that we've taken the medicine, let's proceed. Your Honor.
What is it?
No, never mind. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Let's keep moving.
Here we are. Her Honor hasn't arrived yet. Please wait a moment.
This place. It's still as cold as it used to be. Sorry, I was just reminiscing about some unpleasant memories. Thank you. It's all my fault that you were involved in the Xianzhou's problems. You shouldn't have to see the inside of the Shackling Prison. I'm so sorry. I wish I could show you the real sights of the Luofu. The 6 charioteers might have more power over the rest of this Xianzhou ship. But here, in the Shackling Prison, is the judges of the Ten Lords Commission who call the shots. The judges will use a complicated interrogation device called the Karmic Mirror. It accurately tracks every physiological change during questioning and records it. Therefore, the judgment made here will be sufficient to convince the other administrators of the Xianzhou. At least they won't attempt to challenge the conclusions. Perhaps that's why Fei Xiao insisted that we come here. Okay. But watch your step. This place is not like the others. This place. Okay.
Her Honor hasn't arrived yet. Please wait a moment.
Welcome, dear guests from the Express. Judge Hanya of the Interrogation Division. We've met before. Glad to meet you again. Please allow me to express my gratitude to you again for subduing the demons in the Fixtral Garden.
Looks like while March 7th and I were clueless, you already made many friends on the Xianzhou Luofu.
Even though you and I have met before, we can't show any favoritism under the Ten Lords. So, please do as I command as we head to Scrivener Hall and beyond. Don't do anything without my permission. This is not a place for ordinary mortals. You and Mr. Dan Heng, please come with me.
Please lead the way, Your Honor.
Please let me activate the mechanism before we all move forward. And please, watch your steps.
Is that all? Looks good.
the war dance is about to be held in the mortal world. I remember watching a sword duel at the war dance with my sister when we were young. The Cloud Knight, who was the Luofu's ringmaster, was an amazing swordsman, and their sword flashed like lightning. The Outworld challenger had fiery red hair and a hand made of steel, which roared like thunder. They battled for a long time before a winner could be declared. Time sure flies. Now, both my sister and I are residents of the Netherworld, and we will never again feel the thrill of a competition. Are there a lot of people in Starskiff Haven due to the war dance? Sounds amazing. It's a shame I'm too busy to attend. But even if I could, I'd probably just scare people off with my current appearance. Let's get going then.
Freezing.
This place is filled with the cold air from the northern peak of the polar delve. Even the toughest long-life species would have a hard time enduring this.
Looks good.
Did you hear something just now? Let me check it out. What an eyesore. This place is packed with boxes and crates.
Is that all?
These crates, they look oddly familiar.
A few days ago, the Spiritfarers received reports about an IPC transport ship that was attacked by Borison. Then, a bunch of those abominations were dumped into this place. I had a feeling there would be trouble during the war dance, but throwing both the pirates and the cargo in jail? That's a new one. I heard the Intelligentsia Guild crafted something dangerous. We have many records in the Hall of Karma about these wise ones. They love to tinker with forbidden technologies, always trying to push the limits of ingenia. I caught a glimpse of the mechs in those crates, and they bear a striking resemblance to Borison. I wonder what they're planning this time. Well, business first. Let's keep moving. Strange. I don't don't remember checking the containment facilities a second time.
Watch out!
Emergency! All wardens prepare for action! Emergency! All wardens prepare for action! Happening here? Why are these things moving on their own? Something's wrong. Guards aren't responding.
Debts have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it off.
Dreams do come true.
There's more to life. Existence is unity.
Mood is set. Let the show begin.
Like until everything burns to ashes! Fight to live!
No dirty tricks allowed.
This thing is going wild, just like a Borison.
Looks like we're on our own for this one.
Some value as every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Hedge your bets. The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it off.
I will claim victory for my spite to live! But how is this even possible? The Spiritfarers follow the protocols, cutting off power to the mechs and sealing the crates. How could these mechs still start moving?
It's just like what happened in the Artisanship Commission before. These goods went haywire and attacked everyone in sight. The Alchemy Commission members examined them and found some unusual structures within. These things showing up in the Shackling Prison can only mean one thing.
A prison break.
And whoever delivered these goods clearly wanted them to go through the Xianzhou's strict inspection process to show the Skyfaring Commission and Cloud Knights how dangerous they were. They wanted these mechs to end up right here, in the Shackling Prison.
If these things already started taking action while nobody was paying attention, then the whole prison is in trouble, I'm afraid. And to make things worse, another group of visitors just entered the depths of the Shackling Prison, the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. And the prisoner they came to visit might be the target whom these wolf-shaped mechs were delivered here for. If that vicious beast manages to break free, it will be a catastrophe for the Xianzhou Luofu.
Here we are.
Have we arrived already, Your Honor? Shouldn't there be a cage here?
The most notorious felons are locked away in the solitary delves, deep down in the prison. Those delves can't be opened without proper authorization. The blue bird paves the path, and the Stygian lanterns illuminate it. Help me light up these lanterns, and the way to the bottom of the Shackling Prison will reveal itself. I've given you the diagrams for lighting the lanterns. Please take a look. The path is open. Once we descend to the bottom of the prison, please do not do anything reckless. Inside the delve behind this door is the greatest enemy of the Foxians, Hule. According to custom, envoys from the Yao Qing visit the Xianzhou Lafu once every century to check on this abomination's imprisonment and condition. Even though the Ten Lords Commission sentenced Hule to the Forest of Swords, suffering every day for the rest of his life, I understand that the Yao Qing messengers want to see him dead. Unfortunately, for the past 7 centuries, they've had to return disappointed, because this beast simply can't be killed.
If we can use his toxin to create medicine and save an innocent life, it might help balance out some of the sins he's committed. Could you be the key to a cure for the General? Hule.
And once again, the envoys of the Yao Qing will leave disappointed. However, I won't say the same for me and my brothers.
Who's there?
I'm just a humble counselor of the Rhino Hound Pack. You can call me Mock Talk.
Wardens, intruders on the lowest level! Send reinforcements!
Nobody will hear you here, at the bottom of the Shackling Prison. Thank you for opening up the prison for us, Your Honor. We'll take it from here.
No wonder I kept smelling that familiar stench. So it wasn't just my imagination. Do your thing, Morsa.
We mustn't let these abominations get any closer! Detestable things. There are too many of them.
Once we were inside the Shackling Prison, we found that soldiers available to us everywhere.
More season.
Grace and elegance. Existence is unity.
Until everything burns to ashes!
It's just a tweener massage. A little more heat. I'm honored by your presence. You're already here. Why not have a meal before?
Some value, I suppose.
Spend freely.
I suggest you surrender now. Of course, I'll still kill you. But I promise
Be swept away by the wind. There's more to life.
Hedge your bets. It's on me. The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
I will fight to live!
How presumptuous. Die now!
Leave if you can, Morsa.
Firefly type villain in position.
It's not time yet.
How about letting the enemy strike more seasoned? I'm honored, but since you're already here, why not have a meal before dinner?
Some value, I suppose.
Sure, I'll play along.
This is more than a batch set from the seas of fight!
Watch your head. The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
I like adding time.
There's more to life. Eternal. Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Hedge your pen.
Joining the battlefield.
Some value, I suppose.
Sure, I'll put
Until everything burns to ashes! Set the seas aflame!
Guard the gate! They can't be allowed in!
Been a long time, boy. Welcome back.
How many times has the old verdant home spun around since our last hunt? Duran's whelp, tell me your name.
Oh, great Hule, nemesis of the Foxians and the hunter of all beings. I'm Moktok, a humble counselor of the Rhino Hound Pack. I am only one insignificant heir spawned from your bloodline. It's been at least 7 centuries since you led our pack through the hunting grounds of the stars. I'm thrilled to see that you are as cunning and skillful as ever.
7 centuries. 7 centuries have passed. But why have Duran's whelps grown to look like this? Tell me, Moktok, why have you grown to resemble our most despicable slaves and enemies, the Foxians?
I've been commanded to release you from this cursed prison. It is Senjaya's will. That's why I had to take a magic pill, don the skin of a lowly beast, and play along with their hypocrisy.
Since you have an escape plan, tell me, what's our next move to get off of this ridiculously large ship?
My brothers and I will lock down this prison, trapping the prison guards inside. This will buy us some time. The rest of my crew, who are undercover like me, will secure the vessels for our escape. According to the plan, we only have a tight 2-hour window to get out of here. Originally, I intended to carry out the plan tomorrow, but they're planning to transfer you to the Xianzhou Yaoqing now. So I seized this opportunity to set you free.
What a reckless plan, you idiot! Even if we manage to get the ships, our chances of escaping are slimmer than a Foxian slipping through my claws!
But we have no other choice. The angel serving under the Master of Immortality sent me with a message. Only your return will end the prolonged divisions among the Borison. Every one of my crew is ready to lay down their lives if it means setting you free.
sneaky weakling like you is actually showing some reckless bravery with this plan. Fine. You'll get what you want. And all of Duran's whelps will too.
Well then, my lord. We should leave now.
Before we go, give me one of those magic pills.
My lord, will you seriously want to don the skin of a lowly beast? That would be a disgrace to your greatness, my lord.
You idiot. Greatness means nothing without freedom. Once I get out, I'll need a disguise that won't raise any suspicion.
As you wish, my lord.
Is that Foxian slave my meal?
No, he's an envoy from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. I plead you to endure him a bit, my lord, as he's more valuable as a hostage. Take him, guys. Time to move out.